talking. So, welcome to week 46 of the Wellness Wednesday. And what we try to do is we try to have a little bit of fun, talk about some simple topics. And what we're talking about today is this concept of sustaining our wellness goals, right? How to feel better and manage that in the process of learning from one another. So the Wellness Wednesday series is about having a better life, and we just share with one another what that means. So I'd like to just kind of go around and ask what what would you like to get out of today's session, Jan? Today's session is about how can we renew our commitment to that healthy living. So what can we do to not only have healthy habits, which we did last week, but how can we be more committed to that? How can we make this something that's more ingrained into our process? So I'll start with you, Jan. What would you like to get out of today?
Well, thanks, Stephen, and nice to see everybody or see squares with people. Um, I think today my main thing is I find that the best way to stay or stick with that kind of wellness goal is to surround yourself with people who have the same passion. And so that's really, this whole idea of community and this beautiful community. And so that's really what I think. And then any other ideas I can gather would be helpful always.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Carrie, what would you like to get out of today?
Well, I'm not sure, but I know just like what she was saying, I've tried I've tried to get around people that are like-minded, and of course I've been doing the carnivore diet for 3 years, and that's helped a lot with my health, and off and on it's helped with my mental stability, and then of course what you said, I have to look at that and see and delve into what it would it be like whenever I was a kid, and try to get that into our and try to deal with that to try to make it better, to try to make my life better.
Thank you so much for that. Paul, what would you like to get out of today? And the topic is the committed to health, committed to um, you know, having a healthier life.
Um, I'm open to info. I'm a health. One of the things I research is health. One of my favorite topics. So like to share, like to learn. Yeah, thank you.
So that's amazing. So if anyone, whoever's in Paul's room has a resource, Mahima, what would you like to get out of today? You're muted. Can't hear you.
I was going to say how to be even more healthier in all sorts of way, really.
That's perfect. MJ, welcome. So the topic today is renewing our commitment to health. In effect, so. What would you like to get out of today?
I guess really for me, it's just maybe just to take in, listen to what other people have to say, see what other people are up to. Just really just learning and taking in any information that I might be able to apply to my own situation and share what I've been doing. So it's really just about learning, hearing, listening.
Thank you so much for that. And if Buckaree would like to share, you can put it in the chat. If you're unable to, that's okay as well. But if you would like to share, any of the people that are off camera, go ahead. Go ahead.
Good. Okay, so for me today, I would like again to explore whatever I benefit. Because I want to stay committed. Must within. I'm currently in a public transport. There's a fire accident here, so I want to stay focused and committed. And I hope you're all doing well.
Thank you. And we can't hear any of the noise, so it's no distraction on our end. So Jessica, if you can unmute, that's okay. If not, oh, perfect. what would you like to get out of today?
Sure, just the same as most people are saying, to see what people who have been in this room before have to say and share, and see what I get out of that. You know, I shared my experience on an audio room earlier today, and some people found that useful, and I just want to see you know, what else other people have to share.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Will, what would you like to get out of today? You're muted.
Now that I can actually see everybody because I've managed to dim the window, just some further tips on maintaining healthy lifestyle and how maintaining the healthy habits that we have.
That's wonderful. And for myself, you know, it's this idea of I'd like to learn from all of you ways that we can be more consistent with our health, right? Ways that we can actually bring this into our everyday living so that, you know, it's not something that we're thinking of intentionally, that it's part of our journey. So whenever you're ready, Will, let's go ahead and jump into the breakout rooms. And the question that we're going to have.
Can you make me co-host, please, so I can do
it? That would help.
it.
I thought you were automatically co-host.
No.
All right, there we go.
There we go. So you have a little chat, Stephen, and I.
All right. So the question is we start with the foundation, and so it's going to be this question of what do you find easily what do you find to do easily that would be helpful, right? So what have you been able to incorporate into being committed to that has been easy for you? And the idea is how can we incorporate that same type of mindset or that same type of idea into something that's healthy? So it's figuring out what's easy for you, what you're easily committed to, and then how can that be used to help you with your health? So does anybody have anything they'd like to share? That Paul, you mentioned that you're focused on health. What give us one of the things that you found that's been easy for you or helpful for you in bringing health into a focus or, you know, pillar of what you do.
I think, Steve. Yeah, I mean, obviously I told you last time, you know, with having this op has really sort of made me decide to refocus on releasing weight, etc. But for me, strangely enough, the easiest thing has been committing to these short workouts, like whether it's 1 10-minute workout or 4 10-minute workouts a day. I find I'm able to incorporate them quite easily, and that's motivated me to. I mean, I think I've cut out most unnecessary carbs. No more cookies, no chocolates, and I don't miss any of that stuff. So that's been useful. And of course, I love supplements. So Amazon loves me, and I love supplements. So that helps a lot.
That's wonderful.
Oh,
Are you having difficulty with it? How many we need? We got.
I just tried to move. I just
16.
tried to move people. Just tried to move people around as they dropped in. So I buggered it up. Sorry. Just keep going, and I'm unmuted.
All right. So welcome. We've got Jose is here, and what we had shared earlier is for Danielle and Jose is what would you like to get out of today? So we're talking about this commitment to health. You know, how can we bring habits into our life that are easy for us to incorporate on a daily basis? So what would you like to get out of today, Jose?
About a commitment for health.
Yeah.
Physical or mental?
You can go, it's either one. They're both equally.
Wow, what is those balloons?
How did you do that?
Yeah, it's funny. I was having a meeting this morning, and I was passionate talking with a person, and it began to appear fireworks. I say, what is this? I don't know.
I know it's an iPhone feature.
I believe it's a tool in Zoom. I don't know.
If you go like this, it'll bring the hearts up.
Maybe we'll put a heart. Yeah.
Yeah, there they are.
Oh, okay, appear the heart. Oh, it's cool. Okay, great.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay, well, let me talk about mental health, because it really is important. And by the way, I see that the mental health today is like the next pandemic, because really there's more and more mental health problem, and definitely this is something that people have to take care. They have to take care more about themselves, and try to relax, because I see that today there are going so much things in the world, and here in the US, the economy, all this stuff, and people sometimes get so angry and with the situation, and now there is coming, the election. I don't want to talk about the election, but I see how the things are moving, and really people have to be more relaxed and try to do things to take care of their mental health, because the people really are getting really bad about that. So I'm really trying to do the best in that area for myself, because in my particular case, Steve, I still are finding things in my life because after I came back, I have been fixing things in my life. So have that perfect balance is important. Taking care of yourself, and taking a breath because you get sometimes so involved in situations that if you don't take that step back, maybe it can begin to affect you. So I have been, for example, one of the things that I want to share here, I have been helping other families that have been gone through hostage situation as I went, because we are connected. And they call me, and there are some former hostage that call me, and I've been helping them. But I was telling my wife the other day, I like to do that, but it's making me a lot of drainage. So because I'm still in my healing process, so I want to help others, but at some point it can drag you. So this is the type of things that today I'm trying to relax a little bit more and not get so involved in that. Because really it is something that maybe is difficult for me to explain, because you have to be being in that situation to understand it.
I just noticed Will had put in that he has the rooms ready, the breakout rooms ready. And thank you so much, Jose. Will, go ahead if you want to go ahead and open those. So the question that we're going to talk about is it's this idea of what was easy for us to do as a habit. So what can we learn from what we've committed to? So the things that we've committed to in the past, what was easy for us? What have we figured out that we can commit to easily? And then how can we incorporate that into our health? What's our foundation like?
Oh, well,
we're going to run into the breakout rooms to talk about that one. So we're going to.
Okay.
I'm leaving Jose and Fan in the main room with you.
All right. So Farhan, what have you found that you've been easily committed to in the past, and how could that be used toward health?
Well, for me, the main guiding skill set that I gained to incorporate habits into my life were based on actually these two books that I've been revisiting for the last few days. The first is called,
you've got the side camera here. Yeah, Atomic Habits. Gotcha.
Atomic Habits by James Clear, and the this book, the Power Habits
Oh, I love
by
that. Yeah.
Charles Baldrige. So for me, the key techniques that I've been using is, first of all, the 2-minute rule, that the habit, you cannot improve a habit that does not exist. So the first thing that I need to do in my life, whatever habit I want to incorporate into my life, I need to first initiate it. So and the biggest hurdle in initiating a habit is the difficulty, right? Because when I want to start reading regularly, or start going for a walk regularly, then the mental effort or the physical effort that I perceive stops me from engaging in that habit. Maybe I should look at this camera first. So what works for me is that when you start a habit, it should not take you more than 2 minutes to do that habit. For instance, if I want to start walking every day, so it should be very easy when I start a habit. So when I first of all start a habit to a point when it does not become a burden. And then I need to give myself a pat on the back that I've been following that habit, because I know that I'm not the kind of person who exercises, right? So I need to tell my subconscious that I am the kind of person who exercises every day. So for that, I need to have to track my progress. And for that, I use a habit tracker. It's right in front of my table. In fact, I have lots of copies. I've been using habit trackers for the past many months, in fact, more than a year. So this is a habit tracker, right? So it is just days mentioned, and I mark my habits, all the things that I need to do, and I cross it out. So every day when I exercise or I read or whatever new habits I want to build, I cross it out, right? So that I know that for the past 20 days, I've been consistently doing exercise, right? And initially I start an exercise that it's very small. It should not take more than 2 minutes. So when I do it for the last 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, I've been exercising every day or three times a day. Then in my subconscious, I created an identity that I'm the kind of person who exercises every day, right? Now, this is the most important thing that I know. Subconsciously, I know that I'm the kind of person who exercises. Now it is very easy to build on top of it and improve it, right? You cannot improve a habit that does not exist. This is my main lesson from this.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful, and you've given me some ideas. Jose, what comes to mind for you when?
Well, habits. There are two things that for me are, let's say, three things that are typical. One, I love to walk my dogs in the morning, and that I walk them and I walk myself. So that's a great habit that I have. And I love to do it very early in the morning, and that's one. In the afternoon, I do it too. I love to swim in the night. It relaxes me. I love to read, and I love movies. I'm a big fan of movies, so I love to go with my wife and go to see movies. So these are things that really I enjoy and keep my mind relaxed.
And how could that be? How could that be moved into something related to a health goal, or something related to what you would like to have?
Well, this is part of my mental and my physical health, because when the way I do the walk with my dog is exercising myself. So this is a way that I exercise myself. I exercise my dogs. And it's a relaxing moment, because it's early in the morning. You can be thinking what you're gonna do during the day. So for me it's a very present moment doing that. Swimming in the night for me is so relaxing because I put in the night my ideas in order, and if some reason something has been really bothering me during the day, this is a way I let it go. So these two things really I enjoy it a lot. The other are more for mental health, relaxing, reading. For example, Farah was talking about reading the books. Well, that's a great reading books. And the movie for me also is the same. It's a way I enjoy going with my grandson, for example, I take them to go to the movies. And so this is a way that I put in balance my life.
No, that's wonderful. And Paul, what would you like to share as related to like a way to build commitment into your habits or health habits?
I think commitment comes from doing. It's wanting it bad enough. And I think if you can build those habits every day, I started with a small list. These are my non-negotiables. And because I'm 52 years old. I don't, want to, age before I need to. I've got enough to deal with. So it's like having that commitment and desire be strong enough, and into committing daily, daily, so that you can build on that. And once you build on that, you can add. I think it's a process.
So,
It's wanting it bad enough. Hi, Buck. We got cut off in the room.
We've got everybody back. And
thank you.
so the next question that we're going to do, so we'll go ahead and do the magic mix up on the rooms. And what I'd like to ask is, did anyone have anything that came up? I'd like to share within our room. Farhan had shared just a very structured approach to building habits, and I liked what he had, which was he's got a chart, and he puts what habit he wants to build on his chart, and he does it, and he checks it off. And I think it's a simple but yet wonderful way of intentionally building a habit, and it's saying this is an intentional choice, and I'm going to do this and mark it off. And so I like that approach. That was something that I found helpful for me. Does anyone else have anything that came up or was something that they'd like to share?
Reflection, I was sharing earlier, because when I was doing my master's program, one of the modules I did was reflection and action. And now I've been dealing with so many mental health challenges and everything. And also looking back, I've been using it, but I wasn't using it intentional situation. And look back, for example, I'm stuck, but I'm calm because I cannot change that situation. I'm thinking that because I've been reflected about the past situation. I was stressed, I didn't emotions, and that allowed me. I almost passed. Okay, well, I'm gonna let. Thank you.
Yeah, you're in a little bit of a bad area, so we're having a tough time hearing you.
And we'll have, so what the question again, Stephen?
It's what obstacle might you face, or what obstacles do you have, and how could you overcome that?
Okay, so I
If-
reckon we
if you
have
can't-
about 8 minutes.
If you can't think of an obstacle, what's helpful sometimes is to imagine the perfect scenario. What would it be like perfect, and then find out what's missing. All right, we're ready to go. So, Paul, sorry about that.
Stephen. No,
I know.
right. Hey,
So I wanted to check with you. It looks like I'm going to move Will to. Okay, we're good to go. Technical challenges. So this is kind of a strange topic. It was originally supposed to be on spring equinox. Is what came up in the wheel of topics, and what was interesting about that is that I thought, well, let's move it to something that's more related to commitment and growth. And let's. Oop. Everything's going off.
Stephen, how do you deal with these moments?
They're triggering because it's like, so I had a meeting that just showed up that was booked. So I'm trying to reschedule a meeting, and then I've got a phone call that's coming. It's like,
Isn't I mean, you're into, I gather you're into energy and things as well. And I
Mhm.
always find it fascinating that energy clusters, you'll have space and then nothing's happening. And then it's at the same time, energy will cluster and few things will happen at the same time. And it's like, and it's not even time zones that matter with that or countries, because I'll have it with people that I'm working with in Cape Town, and then things will cluster. Or yeah, it's just a fascinating thing. So, what obstacles have you had to your routine, and how have you overcome them?
So the biggest thing that I struggle with is, I didn't realize that I have adult onset ADHD, or I don't even, I probably had it my whole life, and just never realized that. So the challenge that has come up for me is that, there's just so many different things that come up, or like any movement, any butterfly will like pull me in a new direction. And so I'll start building habits, but it's the follow through, it's the consistency. Those are the things that I struggle with. And I don't like things to be a chore. So as soon as it becomes a lot of work, I'll say, okay, well, I'll try something new. I'll get so creative that I'm constantly bringing in new ideas. And it's the simple things that are the most helpful. So if I'm looking at what is helpful to me, is um, you know, it's it's tagging those things to what I already do. Like the other day we were talking about meditation. Well, if you're walking, you can meditate while you're walking. If you're doing something that you do already, make use of that time, make use of that activity to try to bring in something other. And it's not multitasking. It's intentionally having a focus of how to build this habit or this task, as you're doing something else that where they're co-compatible. You can't do two separate things and think you're going to have a good outcome. It's To me, it's being fully mindful and saying, are these harmonious? Can they coexist? And can we make one effort out of this that meets both needs? And I think if we do that, to me, it makes my mind happy.
Hmm. I mean, I like that because I mean, they're harmonizing things, which when it comes to habit stacking, I mean, that's what you want to do.
Right.
I'm curious, in all of this, how many habits do you apply a day? Do you feel need? Is it like one, five? Where's the line? Where do you go? Okay, these are the number of habits that I need to do in a day that I feel good with for my mental or physical or spiritual health. Is there a limit? How do you approach that?
Was I like the wheel of life approach, and it's I actually created a kind of an ikigai, um, dynamic for how do you live a fulfilled life, and it has an area of community. Let me see if I can find it. It's building upon the concepts that it's noticing what's missing in your life. So if you need connection with others, well, the best way to show up for other people is the best way to have other people show up for you is to show up for them. The people that I really am close to are the ones that are considerate, and that they reach out to me when there's something going on, and that's something that I learned from them. It's like, reach out to people when you think about them. And so that's what I try to do. And it's not something that's normal for me. So I'm trying to make a habit of that, and get better at that. So within those areas, let me see if I can find it here. It's realizing that we can get better by that. So I think there's community, there's health, there's definitely, financial balance, and then you got your spiritual and your emotional. So it's like this wheel of what's going to have you feel better about life. So I think if you pick one or two habits in each of those areas, and you don't have to do them every day, but at least each week, right?
Mhm. So which ones do you do every day? Or I mean, are there like I'm curious because it's like, what goals do you set yourself in a day? It's like, I mean, what are the areas that you attend to every day? Maybe some of those areas you don't attend to every day. But I mean, I notice like you're committed to, for example, the WhatsApp groups. You're very good on there. You're always commenting and supporting, and what's the word I'm looking? Supporting and inspiring others. So is that like part of that process for you of being there and having people's backs?
Well, you know what? It wasn't intentional, but it comes out of this. It comes out of this experience of not having had that once, and then I just kind of made it a choice within my path forward that I was going to make sure that when I appreciated someone else, let them know. And Michael likes to say, because he said the same thing. He said that you're doing a phenomenal job and you're really inspiring people. And I go, well, what do you think that is? Because I've noticed it as well. People are sending me messages, and he just goes availability, availability. So when somebody calls me, if I can, except for this one that I just hung up on, I do my best to
Can't
take.
be in two places at the same time.
So and part of that was it's the time change. So when the time change comes in, it messes up the calendars and everything else. So it's like it's one of those challenging experiences. So I didn't realize it, but I'm drawn towards those things that are easier for me. So reaching out and supporting people is one of those.
Nice.
Welcome, Jose.
Hello.
Can I just say something to Jose? I'm so glad somebody's finally stood up and go, I like movies. Because I also like movies, and I think it's such a dirty subject. I mean, you can't watch that big screen. You mustn't love series and movies. I love movies. I find it's one of the best ways to get out of my head and just, I used to love horror movies. I'm not good with those
No, I don't
anymore.
know horror. I'm big fan I'm big fan, really, really, really is Marvel. I
Yeah,
love
exactly.
Marvel. And I enjoy it because I go with my grandsons and we connect because so my wife said she goes with me. She doesn't like, but she goes with me, but she laughs a lot because I go with my grandson and we enjoy it a lot. So yeah,
Lovely.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I love it. So thank you for saying that.
That's amazing. So whenever you're ready, well, the next question is going to be, and I really liked when we share something that we love. I'm pausing for a second. When we share something that we love, like when Jose shared that, and you and shared that, Paul, the the energy rises, right? Your laughter, it's like it's easy to talk about. This is what I tell people: if you want to become a better public speaker, pick something that you love to talk about, because that it doesn't matter then that you're stumbling over your words or you're having a problem. If you're talking about something that you really enjoy, that you really love, it becomes easy. And so that's part of what we're trying to get into this whole process here is how can we make this something that we're drawn to, that's not difficult. So like if when you love going to see the movies, you will make an effort to do that. And it might be
Correct.
eating out or something maybe going on. So that's going to be the next question is how can we make this commitment that we want to make, how can we make it a draw, right? Instead of trying to will ourselves to do this, how can we make it something that's pulling us towards something that we can really imagine as being better for us or improving our life in some way? So how can we make this something positive? How can we be excited about this?
Fun. You're staying in the main room with Stephen this time. And 8 minutes, everybody.
All right. So the question for Hannah is, how can you get excited about this, about something, and And so you've got your habits, but how can we make it something that's got a draw for us?
For me, I've been struggling at it for a very long time because I think the most important thing for me was self-awareness and to find out what my capability is, because I've been doing a job for a very long time that I did not enjoy and it never inspired me. So I needed to get something that inspires me to go through the times that are tough, right? And then everything else, all the good habits kind of support me towards that goal. Even my health, like if I want to achieve something, right, and I'm very clear about it, and I know that I'm capable of doing it, and that excites me, right, then I need my health, I need my good family relations, I need to uh, have all those good habits that I need, and that they can help me get to my destination. So I think for me, the most important thing is to have a purpose which is beyond me and something that excites me, and that I can get this and it becomes tangible. So I make a purpose a goal, then I divide it into parts that are very tangible. I divide my purpose, my goal into long-term and then medium-term goals. And then I convert those medium-term goals using OKRs. If you're aware of OKRs, objective and key results, I use OKRs to convert those medium-term goals into short-term goals and then into daily tasks. I have a daily planner that I've all the way starting from all the way to my purpose, then long-term goals that are counted in years, then mid-term goals counted in months, and then short-term goals that I count in weeks, and down to my daily goals, right? So this is the only thing that keeps me going and inspires me to get out of my comfort zone.
Well, that's wonderful. And I don't know if you're in a better internet area, Buck, but you are. If you'd like to share, the question is what, when we do things that we love, we can build those into our daily habit, and we're kind of drawn to that. So how can we use this positive draw in a way to help us build commitment into our lives? And it's in any area that you can define as being a better life.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here. You're unmuted now, so perfect.
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you
Yeah,
clearly.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Thank you.
Can I have a thumbs up?
It's your sound is dropping out again, so
Can you hear me?
no, we can't hear you. So sorry about that. So for myself, it's this idea of noticing, and I think it's part of that self-awareness. It's noticing what the feeling or the experience is like for me. And it's not going only to those things that are pleasurable, because there's sometimes when you meet resistance, and it's like that is the thing that will help you improve, or it's being in your uncomfort zone or discomfort zone for a purpose, right? Being in that space intentionally. And I think that this is where the self-awareness comes in. I enjoy that feeling of progress. So I'll do things that I may not want to do. Like I'll go, do the classes and the things like that and stack them up. I'll do meditation to build in, awareness, and I'll do reading and studying and things like that. And the purpose behind those is to be ready to have the tools available and to kind of have a sense of sharing what, the wisdom that we gain, the understanding, to share that with others. But then also, I think it goes into a sense of contribution. So for me, it's that feeling of community, when people really value your friendship or your guidance or what you're offering. And then it's also having that knowledge or that experience again, where you are helping someone, you're making a positive difference in some way. And it's being in that area of support. So I've always kind of viewed it as showing up the way that becoming whatever it is that we're seeking. So if we're seeking love, be loving. If we're seeking kindness, be kind. If we're seeking wealth, make money, right? It's like, don't look for it on the outside, create it within.
That's amazing, Stephen. What do you do if you, like you said, you like the process of growth? You know that when you're investing in something, you know that you're growing, right? But do you feel like that every day? I mean, what keeps you going? This is one amazing takeaway from you, is that the process of the feeling that you know that you're helping out somebody. That means you're adding value to somebody's life, and that is a great motivator, because you're thinking outside of yourself. So that's amazing. Is there anything else that keeps you going when you don't feel like, let's say, attending a class, or of course you have to read a book, or you have to you have to do something? When you have to do something, how do you overcome that, and how do you discipline yourself to do something that you don't really feel like doing?
So I've learned to become aware of the triggers that are within myself, because I don't view that as somebody else has triggered me. I view it as there's something within me that is responding to this action or this person, and isn't it interesting that I do that, right? And so, it happens. There'll be people that will have certain behaviors or certain levels of emotional intelligence. They'll have some certain expression that will trigger within our biology, within our experience, some sort of reactive response. And so for the longest time, it's like this person's seeking to be significant, right? They're talking all about themselves, and they're distracting from the rest of the group, right? It's like, and what I noticed is that this is part of why we do what we do. I mean, we're here to help people progress, and the best progression that can be made are the people that are farthest behind. And so if we can help people progress in an area of life, and realize that we find significance when we just recognize that we're significant in being alive, right? Each one of us here in this planet right now, just the fact that we're breathing, that just the fact that we're experiencing this life, even if it includes pain or includes wonders or pleasure, it's still a tremendous gift. And then we can change our experience. And this is what I found to be the most helpful, is that life changes, but when you have gone through that pain and you come out and you are now sitting in a group, you have the opportunity to read a book or do something that you might have found difficult before, then it changes your perspective, because you realize that we have within us the ability to reframe, to transform that experience into something that's enjoyable. And so it's finding what's missing for us, or it's finding out what our block is. So that's something that came up with doing the dishes. And there's a story behind that, but it's the whole story was I got into a conflict. I'm highly sensitive. So, I'm in this chemistry of, whatever's kicked up by that. And I don't like that feeling. And so it put me in this space, and I went outside, and the conflict was about not getting enough work done on a project I was doing at the house. And so I became resentful, and I don't like feeling resentful either. And I went through all this range of emotions, and I just it's like, I'm not going to do this for her anymore. I'm going to, what she was criticizing me for, and she made it a very personal attack. I said, you know what? I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to do it as a connection to the backyard. I'm going to make it an offering to God. I even said that, I'll make it a connection to the land and the indigenous people and all the stuff that's been here before. I'm just going to leave my energy, my imprint on this space at this time. And I got into this beautiful flow state. And even though there's like an error, I was able to fix the error. I got like twice the amount of work done. And I felt really good. And then like walk back in, I walk right back into conflict. And it's like, wait a minute. And what ended up happening was that I realized that we can shift that, right? And so I made a mental choice at that moment to go back into flow state, and the argument was about dishes. And so I realized that we can enter into that flow state willingly with intention. And so that's what I wanted to share with you. So that's
amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm going to take that away with me.
That's, you're the second person that said I brought value today. So thank you for this. When I was in a class yesterday, it was a hypnotherapy class, and a lot of my mentors are in this class, and they're people that have textbooks that, to teach the skill, and they're psychotherapists and MDs, and and here I am, this person without a PhD behind my name, and sometimes I feel a little bit like I don't have the credentials to be with in that crowd. And the person that was teaching the class said, if you're effective at doing something, you don't really need any letters to tell people that you're effective at it. And that made me really happy. And so I was put in a breakout room with someone, and he goes, what you just shared with me has really immense value. And I'm going to start using that in my practice. And I thought, wow, I brought some value today. So we can each do that. And I think that many of us struggle because we don't feel like we're good enough. We don't feel like we're credentialed enough. And if we can just be a little bit better every day, we do get better. So now it's time for our takeaways. Before we do that, I was going to do a quick picture. So if you could come on camera, and if you can't, that's okay as well. But if on the count of 3, if everyone would smile. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thank you so much. So let's go around. We'll start off. And Jose, what was your takeaway from today?
It was an awesome conversation talking about how you can improve and your physical and your mental health and the challenge that you go through. We had a wonderful conversation with Will regarding to that, how you can challenge your how can you can manage your challenge. And great connection, Paul, talking about movie, great. And Danielle, we had an awesome conversation. So it was a very cool meeting today.
Thank you for that. And Farhan, what was your takeaway from today?
I got amazing takeaways from Daniel and from Stephen. From Daniel, in order to because she is a competitive tennis player, and I got some professional tips from her to have a schedule first of all, and to have a schedule for whatever you want to the activity you want to do, and to have an accountability partner and a trainer. That helps a lot. And from Stephen, I got an amazing lifelong tip for me, that you, in order to be consistent and in order to get through troubled times, you don't do it for people. You do it for yourself, and you do it for the general good of that act, so that that relieves you of all the pressures and all of doing it for others, and not finding the strength to do it if you're doing it for a greater purpose, to help out people. So that you can stay consistent in spite of the problems that you might face.
I love that. Thank you. MJ, what was your takeaway from today?
Really, it is just knowing and recognizing that often the biggest obstacle to the thing that I want to achieve is me, and recognizing that that's a common thread through most of the people that I was having conversations with. And on a lighter note, my second biggest takeaways, thanks to Paul, is no more cookies and Marvel movies. So that's my lighter side takeaways. But yes, just the commonalities of our shared obstacles.
That's great. So Jan, what was your takeaway from today?
Well, if we're talking about movies, I always love Jackie Chan movies. I don't know if anybody's ever watched Jackie Chan, because he does all his own stunts. So, and if you get on his website, there's like a list of like every broken bone he's ever had. It's just like, it's amazing. And they make me laugh. So, I think my biggest takeaway is similar to Mary Jane's, and the fact that, as I listen to everybody, is we all have these same things that we kind of debate, or kind of, that we have these conflicts within ourselves, when we do things and when we don't do things. And so that's kind of nice to realize it's really nice to realize that you're not alone. And so that was probably one takeaway. And then I love what Parmshan, because actually after last week's, Miriam and I decided, who's not here, to become accountability partners for each other. So we've been checking in every day together, about what we're doing or whatever. So that's been really, really, really helpful to us.
Thank you for that. And Mahima, what was your takeaway from today?
I think one of the main thing I'm taking away, and as Jan said, it was good to know that we're all in the same boat when we want to do some things and we are having some not conflict with it, but some challenges with it, because we want to get there, but we've got some challenges. So that was good to know that I'm not the only one who's having some challenges to go completely, some of the foods that I'm not supposed to be eating. And then I've indulged because we've got some guests. But then what I did, rather than beating myself up, I actually said, that's okay, don't worry, you're a work in progress. Because I've noticed whenever I'm beating myself up when things are not changing to the speed that I want, it doesn't help my mind. Instead of being comforting my mind, I'm beating my mind up and it's not supporting me and helping me. So it's about being gentle with myself when things that are slowly changing, and the things that have changed in my healthy habits and way of life, actually celebrate it and enjoy it. So that's what I've taken away today. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And Paul, what was your takeaway from today?
There's so many good stuff. I just, of course, I wish I had the metabolism of Flash and I can eat all the cookies I like. That would help a lot. I just think that, Jan was saying about accountability, and I think being in groups which make you want to strive to be a better version of you helps. Groups like this helps. Some of the other heroic journey I'm on, that helps, because knowing the other people in the struggle, the human condition, and that are fallible, you strive to push yourself harder, because in it, you almost make a commitment. You're not only just turning up for yourself, you're also turning up for somebody else. So in that process, it makes me strive to want to be better. So yeah, that's my takeaway.
Thank you so much for that. And Carrie, what was your takeaway from today?
Well, I didn't really get a specific takeaway, but I was kind of fueled up today because I got a chance to get a meeting with a lot of good people, and I kind of lack that from being by myself in this big house and that's one of the things that I'm trying to do right now is when I go back to school is to try to go on campus and try to get there connect with other people and try to be more social. I think that's what one of my biggest things that I messed myself up with whenever I came back in 2010, helped my aunt. I got it behind the computer and just became reclusive.
Well, you're doing wonderfully. So, thank you for that. And I don't know if Danielle is available. If you've got a takeaway, and feel free to put it in the chat if you're in a space where you can't talk. I know that Buck's in an area of low internet, so if you could put that in the chat, that would be great. And Jose, what was your takeaway from today? Hope he's not available. Jose, what was your takeaway from today?
I was talking with my wife about that. My main takeaway is that life has challenges. Life has challenges, but you really need to separate the things that you can control and the things that you cannot control. The thing that you can control, take actions. The thing that you cannot control, don't. be aware about they are there, but don't try to do nothing. You cannot do nothing. Today I learned that because my wife, I was talking with her now because she became a master in this. Because when I went through my hostage situation, I really, really admire how she handled things, how she discovered, okay, this I cannot control it, and she will stay calm. So she really has been teaching me that how you can become to be focused and calm during adverse situation. Because wow, I can tell you, I'm so surprised. I was talking that with her. She really, really did a master in that. And this is something that can be used in your life. Anything that you're going through in your life, if you cannot control it, don't worry about it. And even today, I see, maybe, I don't know if this is going to sound naive, but even that spiritual thing, that leave it in the hands of God. So that is my main takeaway today.
Will, what was your takeaway from today?
I think I'm going to say the biggest takeaway today is the time I spent with Jose about, our reactions to things that we can't control and the reactions to the things we can control. And also I think something that Jan said to me today, and which is so true, we should always set ourselves up for success and not for failure.
Well, thank you for that. And my own takeaway is that we can learn new things from one another, and if we have the discussion. And so I'm really feeling fortunate to have spent the time with all of you, and to have just the wisdom that comes from the group setting. So thank you so much. Next week will be the discussion based upon it'll be it's positive body image, and it's how to have a better view of your unique self, right? So this is going to be how to feel better about who you are. So thank you so much. And
Michael's takeaway.
Oh, I see, Michael. If your camera's off, you're going to get a takeaway. Go ahead.
My takeaway was from Kerry, because that dude is overcoming diversity to such a level. It's reminded me I need to actually get my A game on. So, Kerry, shot, buddy. You reminded me of something that I've been lacking.
No.
And I need to get back into it.
Lovely. And Buck, I see that your camera is now on. Do you have a takeaway?
My takeaway, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, okay. My takeaway is, I'll say two important factors. One is the fact that I experienced challenges on the way coming. I could have been home about an hour ago. And so I was talking about the importance of reflection. So, and reflection helps you to be mindful. So mindfulness start from reflection. For the reason why we tend to go into a state of meditation, because we have frustration in the first place in the outside world. And as a result of that, when you reflect, it makes you embrace the present moment, and you let go of the things that you cannot solve, or the things that you can find solutions. And then with that being said, the most important thing is the takeaway for the group today, and the problems that we all go through in life, we are not unique in terms of the problems, because as the saying goes, nothing is new under the sun. So we all share different situations, but at the end of the day, we all have that emotions, the amygdala aspect of our brain. So therefore, it's always good to have a place like this where we express our situations, our experience, frustration we're going through, and it creates an opportunity to learn from each other. And so I learned today that our problems in life is not unique to us. So if we find a place to express ourselves, we can go together. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Stephen, you muted yourself. Thank you all, everyone, for being here today. Danielle, I think this was Danielle's first Wellness Wednesday, and she's from Northern California, so it's still, I think, fairly early for her there. So thank you for getting up and showing up and starting your day with us, Danielle. It was lovely to spend some time with you. And everyone else, thank you all for being here again this week. And Stephen, back to you, because I'm going to have to drop out because I need to go to a meeting.
We are officially completed. Thank you all.